Hello, and welcome to English on the Road. I've been away from the podcast for about a year, but I'm now back. And today, we're going to talk about a beautiful country in the Pacific Ocean. This country is famous for its stunning landscapes, friendly people, and unique culture. Yes, you guessed it, we're talking about New Zealand. Let's explore this amazing place together. First of all, a little about the podcast. English on the Road is a podcast to help you practice your English listening. I talk about geography, nature, and travel. So how is this different to any normal podcast? Well, I use simple words and I speak slowly and I pronounce myself clearly. If you want to check out this podcast on YouTube, I also have a YouTube video of this episode, and it will have the subtitles on the video. Subtitles, captions. If you want to use subtitles or captions, you can just check out this podcast at Caribou English on YouTube. Caribou. Okay, so New Zealand. This country is located in the southern part of the Pacific Ocean. It is made up of two islands, the north and the south. There's also about 600 smaller islands, but the North Island and the South Island are the biggest. The capital city is Wellington, which is on the North Island. Another big city is Auckland, which is also on the North Island. In fact, most people in New Zealand live on the North Island. So let's start by talking about that. The North Island is known for its beautiful beaches, rolling hills, and geothermal wonders. One of the most famous cities on the North Island is Rotorua. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. Rotorua is known for its hot springs and geysers. Geysers. That's Geyser, geyser. You can see steam rising from the ground and bubbling mud pools. It's a great place to learn about the geothermal activity that shapes New Zealand's landscape. Another interesting place on the North Island is called the Bay of Islands. The Bay of Islands is a popular tourist destination with over 140 subtropical islands. It's a great place for sailing, fishing, and exploring historic sites. One of the most important historical sites is Waitangi. The Treaty of Waitangi was signed here in 1840 between the British Crown and the Maori chiefs. This treaty is very important in New Zealand's history. Now, let's move to the South Island. The South Island is known for its dramatic landscapes. It has the Southern Alps. Alps is A-L-P-S, which are a range of tall mountains that run through the middle of the island. The highest mountain top or peak is Mount Cook, which is also called Aoraki by the Maori people. It is 3,724 meters tall. 3,724 meters. Many people come to the South Island to go hiking, skiing, and mountaineering. You can say mountaineering as a way for climbing mountains or hiking in the mountains. People are going mountaineering. And one of the most beautiful places on the South Island is Fiordland National Park. This park is home to some of New Zealand's most famous fjords, like Milford Sound and Doubtful Sound. Fjord is a funny word. It's spelled F-J-O-R-D, fjord, but we don't pronounce the J. So fjords are deep, narrow inlets with steep cliffs. So inlets are when the water from the ocean comes into the land and kind of makes a area in the land which has water, but it's surrounded by mountains. It's called a fjord. What about animals? New Zealand has many birds that you cannot find anywhere else in the world. One of these birds is very famous. It's called the Kiwi. K-I-W-I. The Kiwi is a small flightless bird, meaning it cannot fly. And it's a national symbol of New Zealand. People from New Zealand are also called Kiwis as a friendly nickname. You can say, hey, I have a friend from New Zealand. Or you could say, I have a Kiwi friend. There's also a lot of other unique birds like the kea, which is K-E-A, kea. And that's a kind of parrot that lives in the mountains. And also the tui, T-U-I, tui, which has beautiful melodic songs. The Maori people were the first to live in New Zealand. They arrived over 1,000 years ago from Polynesia. The Maori have a rich culture with many traditions, dances, and stories. Today, Maori culture is an important part of New Zealand's national identity. One well-known Maori tradition is the haka, H-A-K-A, haka. And this is a dance that is performed at special events and by the national rugby team. Speaking of rugby, it is the most popular sport in New Zealand. The national team is called the All Blacks, and it's one of the best rugby teams in the world. And they are famous for performing the haka, the dance, before each game. Other popular sports in New Zealand include cricket, soccer, and netball. New Zealanders, or Kiwis, love to play and watch sports. Many people also enjoy outdoor activities like hiking, surfing, and biking. New Zealand's economy is based on agriculture, tourism, and film production. The country is a major producer of dairy products. If you don't know what dairy means, it's like milk, cheese, and eggs. So New Zealand's a major producer of dairy products, meat, and wine. Tourism is also very important because many people want to visit New Zealand to see the mountains and the beautiful lakes and to go hiking or skiing. So the film industry has also become an important part of New Zealand's economy. You might know some films or movies from New Zealand. The famous movie series The Lord of the Rings and The Hobbit were filmed there. The country's stunning landscapes were perfect for creating the magical world known as Middle-earth. And the director, Peter Jackson, is from New Zealand, and he helped to put the country on the map for filmmakers. To put something on the map, it means like to make it famous. So you can say Peter Jackson put New Zealand on the map for filmmakers. So, to sum up, in conclusion, New Zealand is a wonderful place with friendly people, rich culture, and breathtaking landscapes. If you ever have the chance to visit, I'm sure you will love it. You can experience city life in places like Auckland or Wellington, or you can explore the natural beauties like Fiordland or Rotorua. You can also learn about the rich Maori culture. And that's all for today's episode of English on the Road. I hope this gave you a chance to listen to English and try to improve your listening skills, because I just try to speak slowly, and if there's a hard word, I'm going to try to spell it, or if there's an idiom, I will explain the idiom. Remember, like on the map, Peter Jackson put New Zealand on the map for filmmakers. You can learn little things like that by listening to this podcast. Anyways, thanks for listening, and check out some of my other episodes as well. That's all. I'll see you next time.